Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Chris Sims. I am the co-founder here at Rhythmic, and I'm excited today's been our product time, our go live for our product. We have opened the doors wide open. So for good, better, or worse, we are live and we are ready to get your feedback. And so I figured what I wanted to do is give people an idea of what the tool is able to do, how it works, and what better way to do that than to do something live? So I'm about to go through and see if we can come up with a solution to the age-old problem of the people never knowing what to go eat or trying to, uh, you know, solve all these micro decisions that wear people down. Let's see what we can come up with. I'm going to use Rhythmic. I'm going to use some other tools. And we're just gonna have fun for a little bit. This will be recorded for those who want to watch it later, and definitely for our website, so you can see it there and have this be part of our library. But let's dive in. So let me share my screen, and I'm going to share our tool. I've got so many windows open. I think I would have focused on putting this front and center, but here it is. This is Rhythmic, and we are working with a company called Nudge AI. Nudge AI doesn't know what it's going to build yet. What they do know is that they see people struggle with lots of micro decisions that are wearing people down, and they want to come up with a way of making that better. They want to build tools that feel human. They want to turn boring routines into tiny moments of light. So this is always good in product management. Never start with a solution in mind. Start with a goal. Why do you exist? What is the outcome that you want to achieve as a company? And then from there, figure out how to build solutions that solve or create those outcomes that you want to exist. That's what we did with Rhythmic. We wanted to help save product people time so they can focus on getting their butts up, getting out, talking to human beings. And so Nudge AI is trying to do something very similar by taking away all of those micro decisions that we make every day. They've done some interviews. They've gone out and talked to a lot of people. In this case, we used AI to generate this in all transparency. But in reality, when you're trying to do this, you got to, again, get your butt up, get out and go talk to lots of people, figure out what they're struggling with, what is going well. And in this case, they talked about people who know that picking dinners is maybe something that there might be a problem. They had a hunch and they did a series of interviews, 5 different interviews, and let's see if we can come up with some ideas around this. So Rhythmic is based on two primary things right now. We have boards, which are plans to get work done, and documents. Documents are all of that unstructured data that you bring in as a product person, all of the hunches, all of those personas, everything that we put together. Uh, that's what a document is currently meant for. We're going to create a new board so we can begin to say we want to build something as a team. Don't know what yet. So let's ask Aria. Aria is the AI copilot that goes along with this. Aria is built on the more than 30 years of product management and leadership experience that my co-founder and myself have working with small startups, all the way up to some of the world's largest organizations. We brought that into Aria. And so we're going to use Aria to build something. So let's create a new chat and let's figure out what we're going to build. So I'm going to, again, so live, real time. So fingers crossed, everything works. Let's build something. So Aria, we have some goals. All right. Hey, just go look at it. So Aria is going to kick off, go out there, look through all of that data. She's already been looking through it as we've been working in this. And she's coming back with some summary. Let's see what Aria says. So this is not just a wrapper around ChatGPT. There is a lot more that's going into the agentic workflow. Modeled a lot off of GitHub Copilot, Bolt.new, and other tools that are common in vibe coding. We're just realized that there was a problem that maybe product managers use some of the same skills. Decision fatigue, lack of pantry awareness, lots of food waste, mood and emotional. All right. Not overly surprised here. So we're starting to see some things. Let's see what our pressing problems to solve are. Reduce dinner decision fatigue. improving pantry visibility and food freshness, and balancing variety with simplicity. All right, some interesting approaches. We're doing this live. I don't want to spend tons and tons of time working on trying to go through lots of ideas. That's another thing that we want product managers to do. Lots of really small experiments. And so Aria and Rhythmic are designed to help facilitate lots of small experiments. We're going to do a small experiment today. We're going to figure out one of these and see if there's some solution we can do and put in front of people to get you back. So take those three ideas and pretend you are our users that we interviewed. All right. So one of the things we're working on, and we are early days of this idea of creating a digital twin. So as we build understanding of your humans, how they use the system, how they interact with the tools, we're building this twin so you can ask it things like, hey, pretend you're this person. Eventually, this person, this virtual digital twin of your users will be living and working and constantly giving you ideas and constantly getting better based on your users interacting with your system. But for now, we're going to prompt it this way, and let's see what she comes up with. All right, summary insights. Great. That's kind of what we want. Let's synthesize all of this information. Decision fatigue, pantry visibility. We got one person there. Looks like we see more people talking about decision fatigue. All right, cool. That's the best. So, okay, cool. Let's work with decision. Our goals as a company and their feedback as a student. Wait, so let's go make this happen. And while we're doing that, we do have some visitors. So hello to our watchers out on Twitch. I also really appreciate that AI is really friendly to spelling mistakes and typos. The dinner decider one tap feature, the solution directly addresses. Great. I like that idea. Yeah, let's go ahead and draft a project proposal. All right. So a couple things are going on here, and this is one of the first features we really want to dive into, other than kind of what you've been seeing. What you've been seeing is basically a chat app with knowledge-based retrieval, RAG on top of it might be a term you're familiar with. In this case, we'll let people know what they're thinking. So we always want to be transparent with what we're doing. But we also have the ability to create these smart chat boxes. In this case, we created a document. So it realized, hey, this is something we might want to capture for later. Here's our introduction problem statement, fatigue, our goals, and what we might want to achieve. Right. This is vibe coding, vibe product management. So in real life, I want to spend time thinking through this, crafting this, working with it. But for the sake of this conversation, you know what? We got a lot of really good stuff here. I want to capture this in a document. And as we add these documents in, this information, actually, I've already got one whole project brief. I was working on this earlier, but I've got I blanked it out for the sake of this. But as we add these documents in, every 30 seconds or so, RA kicks off and does our translation process where it takes all of our ideas that we've loaded in as documents, and it goes through a pretty advanced process where it's figuring out what could this information be used for in the future, and it stores all of that in the document, all the summaries and everything, and all that is used in all of our retrieval and generation steps that we're going to do. So now we're getting this in there. We're going to let Aria do its thing, and let's work and actually create some ideas. All right, cool. We have a project brief in there. Please create a epic for this. So Epic's one of the more agile terms, and we're going to be moving away from the straight up agile terms, making things more generic across all product structures. But we're agilists at heart, so that's going to be in a lot of our initial context. So Epic, all that is a big body of work that's going to get broken down into smaller stories. All right, let's see what she comes up with for this. All right, so now you're going to see another tool another smart card where we are uh, building out epics. And so let's look and see if we like this. Simple dinner decisions with mood aware personalized recommendation. All right, I'd be interested to see what comes up with that. You know, I want this to feel a little more fun. We're a fun company. I want these things to be approachable. Let's make this epic a little more fun, something more engaging. And let's see what aria comes up. Well, I think I want it to be like things a little bit, you know, sarcasm. It's a weak form of humor, but it's one that lots of people like, and I like a good snarky AI every once in a while. All right. Yep. Go ahead and do that. Thank you, Aria. Magic to energy. Great. So let's go and add that one in there. Now you're seeing this is on our board. We could begin to track this work. Uh, Next week, we're going to be releasing, re-releasing. We have it written. We're moving over to more enterprise framework. We're going to be releasing this so that you can automatically load this into Jira and to Azure DevOps. Eventually, it'll be assigned on Monday.com. All the tools that you would expect that your teams might be working with. We'll make those connections there, so you can also do things like this. Great. Write this down. So this is a big idea. This is not something, all of these simplified decisions, it's not really telling us what to go build. It's got some things, but let's actually break this down into actionable work that can get done. Let's break it down. And this is one of the next smart cards. It's the idea around building stories to use it for. So right now it's going and it's composing, it's looking at this and then using, again, all of that project experience that we have is guiding this to help design a story breakdown that makes sense. So let's look and see what it express my current mood. So we need a way of telling it, yep, we'll need a way to tell it what my mood is. Oh yeah, be able to tell what's in our pantry. And you know what? I don't really care about local weather. Well, maybe we don't want to go out if it's raining or cold. Maybe that'll things. We'll put that in there. That might be the lower priority. All right, go bug there. No, that's always fun when that happens. Again, live and AI is always unpredictable, and that's okay because really what we need to do is we still don't know that we need to go build this. This is a lot of potential junk in our backlog because we've done absolutely zero validation. We just had Aria go out there and spit something out. Let's go ahead and jump into validation. When you're validating, you want to do the most amount of validation you can for the least amount of effort so you can get to minimizing the assumptions that we make all the time. Product owners, product managers, we work and live in the world of assumptions. That's how we prioritize our backlog. It's always based on assumption. Until you put a tool into a user's hand, they've given you money for it, and they say that yes, it creates value. You're working on assumptions. So here, let's actually break this down and start to validate this. Okay, cool. I like these stories, but we need live coding. Everyone's talking about it. You can't get on LinkedIn or the internet without hearing live coding is going to replace all of the developers' jobs. And whether or not that is real, I'm not going to get into I'm not going to wade into that particular debate here. Sorry, I got distracted with things. My ADD's kicking in. We're not going to get into arguing over vibe coding being good or not. What we are going to do is realize that people are going to be able to move faster with code. But what we see when you're writing a prompt for AI to go write code, if you don't do a good job of writing that prompt, you're going to get garbage. And so we spent some time teaching Aria what a good vibe code prompt looks like. What are things that actually work well when you go into tools like Cursor or Windsurf or Replit or Bolt.diy, or every time you turn around, there's a whole nother virtual AI development agent coming around the corner. We're not going to get into that. We're going to integrate. We're going to do things like we did here. Let's rapidly prototype some idea. And we have a pretty effective prompt. The dinner decider tells you mood icons. So we've got a mood selection screen, pantry and weather summary, dinner. All right, cool. I love this. Let's copy this. So again, this is a prompt designed to explain what it's going to do, and we're going to see how well this works. And I'm going to kick off two tools. I pull in through my company account. And we're going to just paste this prompt in there. And we're going to say, go start building. While that's going, I'm going to use another tool, Bolt.new, but we're going to do something else that we often have to do, and that's pitch decks. So let's ask Rhythmic to create, based on this, we're going to want to create a pitch deck. So we always ask, so we're going to create our PowerPoint presentations. The answer is yes, but we're not quite there yet technically. So we're going to have Bolt.diy create a pitch deck for us based on everything that we have been researching, so that we can take our tool that Replit's going to go build, and we can take our tool that Bolt.diy is going to build, and we can see what the heck's going to happen for the dinner nudge AI. All right, let's go and have it now create a vibe code prompt that we're going to take into Bolt.diy. Let's go check and see. All right, cool. We got a plan over here. We're going to prove this plan and start. Great. Replit, that's cooking. I did not pre-bake this, so I'm not going to do the Julia Child scene. This is live. It's going to take a little bit of time. Replit, especially when you give it a detailed prompt like we just gave, takes some time. Trust me, I was in a competition doing this exact thing. It was a timed competition where we had less than an hour to go do this. And thanks to Tex in the City, that was fun, but very stressful because the tool works as fast as the tool. We're already getting an initial, I'll let you see this, and then we'll go kick off another thing in Bolt.diy, which is a locally hosted coding tool similar to Replit. It's nice because it is locally hosted. So all we're going to be paying for is the credits that go to OpenAI or whatever your AI tool is. Pretty cool. We'll see how far it gets as all of that is working. So let's go back. Let's grab that prompt. Great. We have a list of slides. So I'm going to copy that, and it will let me stop sharing, and I'm going to share something else. I'm going to share a whole nother window, and we're going to go into Bolt.diy. This has been set up to use OpenAI's GPT-4.1, hands down the best that I've used yet when it comes to writing code. Claude, and there again, some other company, you don't have to use GPT-4.1. You can use lots of different options. There are lots of options that you can use with Bolt.diy, but GPT-4.1 just works. So I'm going to use it and kick off. So literally, I just copied and pasted what Rhythmic came up with. I'm kicking this off. It's going to go and do something similar, but in this case, it's going to create this is a cool thing where I actually will create a slide deck for you. And so it's going to run. It takes a little bit of time. Also, let's check back in the other oven and see if we have any not really in progress. We're still at the visual preview, but not the anything else is moved. Now we get to sit here and twiddle our thumbs for a little bit. So let's just wait and see what we come up with. So cheers. Let's see what happens. Now, I will be extremely surprised if either of these tools get it right out of the gate. Replit will get pretty close, and the more detailed the prompt, it takes it longer, but it usually does a pretty good job of what it comes up with. Bolt.diy, they've got a great, I mean, I love those open source. You can see what and how it works, but it's not quite as smooth and how deep it can go. Yeah, it's getting better. Again, it's open source though. It's great if you want to go see how this stuff works and if you need to run it locally. But you know what? We've got a response generated over here. So let's go look and see. And guess what? It broke. It didn't work the first time. So we got a little more work. Some bugs here. So we got to tell it. Guess what? Go fix it. That's a little bit annoying. I not know it'll work. All right. Now I do not claim to be an expert in vibe coding. So any of you real vibe coders out there that are watching this, please feel free to poke holes and let me know how we can do this better. But we have what we have. Let's see what this comes up with. So now this is cranking out, doing some things. So this is either a really great way. Now I've got two actual interns working for me, doing different things. I have one that's creating our PowerPoint presentation. I have another that's creating our pilot app. So we'll start seeing how those come together. Awesome. We have our dinner decider. Looks like it created. So cool. We got a problem. We got our users, what dinner decider does. Right. We have a slide deck. It looks like garbage, so let's make it look better. Dark mode. Right, don't like that, so go fix the color scheme. Oh, we have some first steps over here in Replit. So while our presentation intern's doing their thing, let's go take a look at what our coder has come up with. All right, so we got how are we filling? Sample, here's what's in our pantry. You can see, okay, cool. Actually, on a nice, that sounds where you got a kind of tomato rice. Interesting. All right, we've got something that actually we can begin to get some ideas. Nice. So, you know what? This is great. I actually take screenshots. I could post this. I can actually get in hands and do further interviews with people, which is great. Or we can do things like, let's actually make something work here. For now, let's just connect it to a database. So that way we can begin to work. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I want this to use AI. And if you pick pizza, I want it to be a little bit sarcastic if you pick pizza too much. Yeah, we want it to be funny. All right. Let's see. Nothing's really changed over here yet. It's still in dark mode. All right. So we'll go back over and look at our other. Oh, got it. We've got a database, so it's updating this, but let's go look at our other app right now. All right. So this is updating the theme. Hopefully we will have something that works. All right. We got that going. Go fix it. Bad intern, doing a bad job. Welcome to the world of vibe coding. So a lot of this getting very frustrated and arguing with AI, but especially something we could do a little bit fast. But the reality is what we couldn't do fast is what Replit has done over here. And that would take some time, even at this high level. Like it did very fast working through here. And then the next step. So come up with an interview that customers will use. All right, cool. Let's see what it came up with our customer interview here. Walk through, show the screens. It's probably a little bit long. Check in on the dinner decider. Select. Oh, let's see what this does. Also, while we're waiting on that to work, check in on our pitch deck. Okay, that's to create some visuals, but now all the words are off back over here. All right. So now we have three things going. We've got Aria coming up with our feedback. We have Bolt.diy working on our presentation. A little bit sad. DIY, a little bit sad. First time I've used this significantly. It's okay. It's getting the job done technically. Replit doing a phenomenal job. Rhythmic's doing a good job. Bolt.diy is at least getting something that I could use. We have a bug. Let's see. It should detect that and fix that automatically. All right. See that doing its thing. Let's add, we'll just add these in, do some copy paste. Right now, there's a lot of copy and pasting that you're seeing me do. That is something that we're definitely going to be working to make more direct so that all of this is going directly into the system. So expect that to be out. A good chunk of that's going to be out next week, actually. So what? If I press some weird hotkey on my, oh, what I just did with that. All right. All right. Questions. Oh, it wants to create an interview guide for me. But you know what? I got that figured out. Copy and paste it in. I can work with McCall. Let's check back in on this. You know what? I like this. I want to capture this as a screenshot and embed it in to the system. So let me just make sure this is where I can get to it. Excellent. So now we've got our document that's going, and we have our slideshow over here. I'm going to share this. It's created a simple like combinator deck, kind of, but let me share the screen that I can go into where we're going and get feedback. All right, so we have our deck that we can then use. Again, the weakest part, but also one of the weaker tools, running this locally, a lot more that can be done with this over time. You're going to see more of this where we are absolutely creating presentation in the system. We're just not there yet. Ladies and gentlemen, we have gone from idea to a pitch deck to a actual app that has some functionality. It would not take a whole lot more to get from where we are right now to something that we could actually put in. Let's see if it loads our pantry. Let's manage what's in our pantry. Nice, pretty simple screen here. Controls. I'll go pantry stable. I don't know. What are... All right. There's a button there, but you can't see it. That's awesome. These are all things that we would continue to work out and see what comes up with and expand it. All of that can be done very easily in Replit and things like that. So lots more to do. Lots of direction to go. But we, again, went from an idea to a prototype to an interview script. And then if we were to do this, I'm going to simulate an interview. Again, digital twin. This is the next step that we're going to be working on. Give us feedback. Can't get it right now. We need to basically get our butts up and go do it. But let's see what people might have said in this. Got some feedback here. And then we can paste this in based on this interview. And now we're actually built something that has been validated, an idea that we've worked with, and some direction that we'll give to our teams. And we're doing the full breakdown. We went from an epic down into stories. Let's see if that bug is still there. It looks like inconsistent, which is pretty typical with AI, but we're working to make that more and more consistent. That concludes the live stream. We went in 40 minutes from concept to idea, pitch deck, and validation, all of this very quickly. And this is just the start of what we're going to do. Thank you for your time and have a great day.